So you guys, I totally failed to get game one put into one video. It totally went a minute over, went way over, so that is going to have to be split into two parts. Sorry about that, guys. I hate to have to do it, but I had to do it. I had to do it. Didn't want to recast the game. I'm actually a little short on time today as I am going to be competing in the Stim.tv tournaments. If you guys don't know what the Stim.tv tournaments are, you should check them out. They're totally awesome. Just go to Stim.tv, and they have tournaments there every week with small cash prizes. You can win lessons, all kinds of other good stuff, and it's free. It's free to enter, so it's really, really cool. Go check it out. They have leagues. If you're like, oh, but I'm not good. I'm only in Silver League. You know what? That's fine. There is a Bronze Silver League division. There is a Gold Platinum division. There's a Diamond division, and then there's a Master Grandmaster division. So no matter what division you are in, you too can compete in the Stim.tv tournaments that happen every single week, so go check it out, Stim.tv. Now jumping right into this game, this is Game 2 of the Gigabyte Cup, mouzMaNa versus EmpireKas, and spawning in the bottom right corner of Crevasse, we have, as the green Protoss, mouzSportsMaNa. Spawning in the bottom right corner as the red Terran, we have EmpireKas. As I said, this is Game 2 in the Gigabyte Cup series. It is a best of 3, and in Game 1 we saw EmpireKas take a very, very nice win off of Mana with some very nice Ghost EMP, really. I mean, I think Ghost EMP is really what won him that game. With those Ghost EMPs, he was able to take out a lot of the shields and energy of the sentries for mouzMaNa, was able to take a pretty good food count and went for a very, very heavy macro style of game and did very, very well against the ground forces of mouzMaNa. Interestingly enough, in this game, we are actually going to see EmpireKas going for a very, very fast expansion here, taking one of the peculiarities of Crevasse. We see that this expansion here, well, let's see, let's go to the one that doesn't have a base in it yet. We can see that there is an expansion on the Crevasse that is connected to your main expansion. It is only kind of a half expansion. It's got 6 mineral patches and a rich Vespene geyser. We saw EmpireKas being very, very smart here, taking advantage of the fact that the rush distance here can be very, very big. You have to walk all the way around, almost to the middle of the map before you can go to any of the other bases. And he actually didn't throw down anything but a supply depot and then instantly threw down his orbital command, and I love this from EmpireKas. EmpireKas taking the rich Vespene geyser first. Such smart play here from EmpireKas. He knows that this is only a 75 mineral investment, and he's already going to be mining a lot more gas out of just one gas geyser, and that's going to be much, much more efficient than taking these 2 Vespene geysers first. In the meantime, he is now throwing down a bunker. He is going to need this bunker if he's going to want to be able to defend any kind of early pressure, since he did go orbital command first. But mouzMaNa actually choosing not to go for his little bit of a bonus expansion here, instantly going for what is normally the 3rd expansion. And it looks like this could pay off very well for mouzMaNa, just because this expansion, it is a full expansion. It has 2 Vespene geyser patches, and it does have a full 8 mineral patches, so this expansion is going to be very, very lucrative here for mouzMaNa. The one trick to this expansion is that it is very, very hard to defend. As you can see, there's a lot of open space here that is surrounding this nexus, and there is even a high ground right here. So Terran players have been known to place siege tanks up on the high ground and poke in with Marine Marauder balls, and then anytime the forces of the opposing player comes to try to defend, they just pull back to the siege tanks and are able to usually do a lot of damage to this expansion. So mouzMaNa is going to really need to defend well if he's going to want to hold this expansion. But of course, like I said, if he is able to secure this expansion, he's going to do very, very well, as he's going to get ahead, since Kos is only mining on this half expansion here, not quite, which is not quite as good as the full expansion out here for mouzMaNa. Now, on the production tab, we can see that a starport is now coming up onto the field. A reactor is coming down on this factory. That is most likely not going to be used for Blue Flame Hellions. We are most likely going to see a swap onto this starport, onto this reactor, and we're seeing very similar style from Kos that we saw in Game 1, where he's going to be going for a heavy barracks style play, going to be getting that starport, and the second he lands this starport on that reactor, he's going to move out right away and try to deal some damage, some very early damage, the second he gets those medevacs up. Now, Mana being smart here, controlling the map, has some good observers here. He's got he's got probes on the Xel'Naga watchtowers, sending out a couple of observers to scout the expansions of EmpireKas. Wants to know exactly what he's doing. Very smart play here from mouzMaNa, but I'm actually going to be interested to see what kind of tech Mana is going to be going for, because in Game 1 he went for a very, very heavy gateway style of play, and it did not serve him quite so well. In this game he did go for an earlier robotics facility so that he can get up a lot more observers to get some good scouting information in. But it looks like he's going to be going for more heavy gateway play, as he does have more gateways just now coming up onto the field. We do have one robotics bay coming down, so we are going to be seeing some Colossus here from mouzMaNa. I think this is a very, very smart move, considering all the ground forces that are now coming out of Kas. And holy cow, Mana, I think this observer here actually scouted that medevac as it comes in. I apologize for missing that, but it looks like he did actually manage to see that. Either that or he's just really, really psychic. Mana could just be super psychic, and was able to bring all his forces up there and prevent any kind of damage being done from that drop. This medevac did poke around, did see this expansion, I believe. Yeah, he did see that expansion there. So he does know that Mana has not gone for this expansion and taken the big expansion, and yes, we can see that he is now going to move out right now with his medevacs, and he's going to try to deal some damage here because he knows he is going to be just a little bit behind from not having the full expansion that Mana has up right now. Mana with actually 2 observers in the base. This is such good placement here. As long as he leaves these observers and doesn't move them around too much, then these observers are going to be very, very hard for Kas to spot. Kas, with excellent timing, just now starting his Viking production. A second starport is now up that is now producing Vikings. So he's producing a lot of Vikings right now. Very, very such good timing here. Just as this Colossus pops out, it looks like these Vikings are going to be here just in time to be able to deal with this Colossus from Mana. We do have another Colossus coming down from Mana right now, so it looks like it is going to be 2 Colossi, but it looks like Kas has decided he doesn't quite want to push out yet. He's decided that because of this expansion here, that he knows that mouzMaNa actually could be ahead of him a little bit in the food count, so he is going to sit back, macro a little bit harder, and he is throwing down this command center to try to get a little bit of an expansion going here. Mana just now throwing down his little bit of a bonus base Nexus now. Looks like he's going to start to mine on that one, as he is now pretty well saturated on both his main and his natural expansion. Still producing off of a lot of gateways. Extended Thermal Lance is up, and he's now just chrono boosting out a lot of Colossi right now. In the base of EmpireKas, we can see that there's still a heavy Marine Marauder force here from EmpireKas. This is a very, very standard style of Terran play, but it is so very strong, especially against the forces of Mana, which of course are primarily ground-based with Colossi, gateway units rather, with Colossi. And as we can see from all these barracks here in the base of EmpireKas, we can see that most of them have tech labs on them. We can see 4 tech labs and 1 reactor barracks. So this means that he's going to be producing primarily Marauders. These Marauders are able to do a lot of damage to the ground forces of Mana. They're even able to kite these Zealots, which do not yet have that leg speed. And in the meantime, a few Marines are added in for the additional DPS. That is damage per second, and the Vikings are there to take care of those Colossi. So this is just a deadly mix here from EmpireKas that does very, very well against the forces of mouzMaNa. I'm going to be speeding up this replay just a little bit because this replay, like Game 1, is a smidgen over 15 minutes, so I'm going to have to speed it up just a little bit. One factory now moving across the field for Kas. Looks like he's going to try to get a good feel on what Mana is doing, and he's going to be actually pretty pleased to see that it is going to be primarily a gateway Colossus army, which he's got to be feeling pretty good about, just because the forces that he has right now are quite good against them. We do see that Psystorm is about to complete, and it will be done by the time this attack comes here from Kas, but these High Templar don't yet quite have the energy to be able to do anything, and the Vikings moving ahead of the forces of EmpireKas, sniping 1 Colossus right away, 1 Colossus instantly falling, the other Colossus going down, and the other Colossus taking massive amounts of damage. Oh no, all the Colossi instantly falling, and all the Vikings now landing for EmpireKas, all the forces now stimming in from Kas and dealing a lot of damage. All the forces of mouzMaNa just disintegrating to all these forces from Kas, now moving in with a commanding position now. 73 food to 136 food. This does not look good for mouzMaNa right now. Kas now mining on that third base. Looks like he is preparing to expand again as he has now taken out this expansion. No drops or anything yet going down in the other expansion, but he's going to be very, very far ahead at this point in the food count. We can see in the harvester tab, we can see that cost is up quite a bit, 57 harvesters to 45 harvesters, and yes, indeed, we do see now that cost is taking his fourth base. Notice that he is taking the big base. He's taking the big kid's base. He doesn't want to take this little wimpy base. There is another small base here. This is not a rich Vespene geyser and only 5 mineral patches there, so it's kind of the wimpy small base there. Cost deciding to skip that and going for that big kid's base. In the meantime, we do see a drop here coming for EmpireKas. Looks like he's going to try to finish off all the mining of mana. Looks like he's dropping into this expansion, getting more worker kills, focusing, not focusing anything at all at the moment, just hoping that this drop's going to deal a lot of damage. All the forces of mana coming up to try to defend against this, but will he be able to hold? Yes, it looks like he does have enough charge lots here that he is going to be able to hold, and an Archon just finishes, so it looks like Mana is going to be able to clean this up, but Mana is not in a good position right now. The food count is currently 122 to 77. Another drop in the main, able to take out gosh, I don't even know what that was. Hold on, let's go back a second. Oh, that was the fact, or oh no, that was the Templar Archives. The Templar Archives went down. That is going to be a big loss for mouzMaNa, as mouzMaNa is now not going to be able to produce any high Templar, which he really, really, really needs if he's going to want to be able to deal with this heavy bio ball from EmpireKas. Cost just now getting his ghosts up. His ghosts are now out on the field, and it looks like he's going to now be poking in, using those ghosts to try to get some EMPs off. He did see that Archon coming down, so he knows that he's up against Archons, but EmpireKas macroing like a boss. 170 food to 108 food. Cost taking another expansion up at the top left corner, and another drop coming down now for Cost. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slow down this replay now because holy cow, the drops are starting to fly like crazy on this map. More damage has been dealt. If we check out the workers killed count, we can see that EmpireKas has taken out 23 probes, so he's got to be feeling pretty good. And yes, we can see that he is feeling pretty good as he is now double expanding, taking over the map with those command centers in such a good position here. Now breaking down these rocks to try to shorten the distance to this base. Vikings once again going ahead, dealing a lot of damage to these Colossi, staying ahead of the pack, trying to deal a lot of damage, and there is not a big enough stalker count here to deal with all of these Vikings. These Vikings actually able to snipe both Colossi. That is going to be a huge loss there for mouzMaNa. Snipes going down on the High Templar. mouzMaNa in such a terrible position right now. All the ghosts now moving in. EMPs going down on the forces of mouzMaNa. mouzMaNa pulling back, trying to buy as much time as he can, but this is so much. And the stim from EmpireKas goes down as he moves in. So many EMPs going down on all the forces of mouzMaNa, and mouzMaNa is forced to GG. EmpireKas takes this best of 3. This means that he's going to be moving on in the Gigabyte Cup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. If you did, please do the commenting, please do the subscribing. Let me know what you think about the whole breaking up into parts, if you like breaking up into parts or not. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That's pretty much it for me. Glitch out.